Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for the 16th of May. So we have a slightly shortened trading week this week with yesterday's holiday, but already we're seeing quite a risk on sentiment spreading through the markets. Asian bourses have been up fairly healthily overnight, and also US stock futures also up fairly healthily in early and thin trade as well. Now what seems to be the sort of main impetus of this move has been on the back of optimism around more companies developing vaccines. In fact, one is sort of scheduled to go to human trials shortly as well. So that's where the optimism seems to be coming from. It's certainly sort of leaking through into some healthy moves into the markets. So let's take a look at a few markets here that we're keeping an eye on and some of the opportunities that we're looking at this early part of the week. So if we come first of all to the S&Ps, and the reason why I've come to the S&Ps rather than the Dow is that all of these indices, the NASDAQ, the S&Ps and the Dow, all have broken through into new sort of territory, new trading windows. But on the Dow, we've got the next level up to around that 25,000 sort of price point. On the S&Ps, there is a level here around the 3,017 price point, which I wanted to highlight. So we can see on the S&P 500 futures contract here that the market's had a sort of very strong move here. It's coming up fairly close to this sort of level, around 3,017. We could probably get that number a little bit tighter on lower time frames, but it takes in these sort of previous two tests here where the market has rejected or found resistance at a couple of times before. After a healthy move, I wouldn't be at all surprised if the market finds a little bit of sort of resistance around there again. Not suggesting that this could be a turning point, but it may be if there is weakness that comes back into the markets, the market could find a bit of resistance around this price point. If we just take a look at this on the daily time frame, you can see where the market is at the moment. Again, we've sort of broken out to the long side, got above this 23,950 area, and clearly this is very sort of close to that sort of big round technical level of that 3,000 price point. If I zoom out of this on the daily time frame, it's a little bit congested, but you can kind of see these structure levels have been tested multiple times before, and the 3,017 area here, so just above that 3,000 sort of price point, has been tested multiple times, again as support and resistance, again several times too. So by the time the market gets up there, which is not that far away from where price is at the moment, it's about sort of 10 points from where we are at the moment, the market's going to be quite stretched and extended there. So again, holding any sort of positions, I'd be a bit sort of cautious of that sort of decision point. However, above that level, we've got fairly sort of clear move up towards that 3,100 price point. So that's a very healthy move on the S&Ps. And even above that sort of price point, there's the next sort of level up there to around 3,200 area. So again, some very sort of healthy trading windows to the long side on these markets. Come down to the lower time frames, we can see that we've got some very healthy moves moving at the moment, and again things are looking a little bit stretched, a little bit extended, and that's why I'm sort of flagging up those higher levels. We could see, once the cash market sort of opens, we could see this sort of optimism continue, but again those are the sort of trading windows that I'm looking at. So again, they sort of filter through fairly sort of easily back through to the Dow as well. That higher level, the next sort of trading window on the Dow puts it up to the 25,000 sort of price point, which is probably going to be somewhere fairly close to this 3,017 on the S&Ps. So if we come and take a look at the commodities now, one that we're liking the look of is silver. Now, silver has been having a very strong run lately. If we just take a look at this on the weekly chart, we can see the strength of this move, and at the moment the market has sort of broken through and found support at the 1760 price point, which if we just look back through here on the weekly time frame, you can see there's been multiple tests of that level before, and we're sort of halfway through, or coming up to sort of halfway through the next sort of trading window up there towards that sort of 1850 area. Again, if you take a look at sort of 1850 back through history, we can see that that is a price point that's been tested multiple times. And there doesn't seem to be any sort of key sort of levels, key decision points in between these two sort of structure points at the moment. So again, sort of come down to the daily time frame, we can see that the market's been sort of hovering around this area where it's been for a few days. So it's sort of broken through, pulled back, and now sort of just breaking through this level again. So again, looking sort of quite interesting around here in the context of a long trend already. The move looks sort of fairly well supported. So again, we're looking at opportunities on long silver up towards that sort of 1850 sort of price point as the first sort of trading window. Above that, of course, there are some sort of higher trading windows, but this one is still got some fairly reasonable sort of distance left in it. Now, if we come to the currency markets, and a couple here that we're keeping an eye on, and first one is dollar CAD. Now, this is a dollar weakness play, and we're seeing quite a lot of weakness coming into the dollar at the moment with the sort of risk on sentiment sort of spreading through the markets. If we take a look at this from the higher time frames, in fact, before we go to the weekly chart, let's just take a look at the monthly chart first of all. On the monthly chart, the market's had a very strong move. It's and this of course has been the coronavirus, or evident here of the coronavirus period of time in the markets. The market's had a big strong move higher. It's retracing back, and even if we sort of consider this to be more of a long bias in the market, the sort of move that we're looking for is only a sort of relatively short retracement here on the monthly chart. And you can see this is quite overextended, quite stretched already as it is. So I just want to highlight this, that a bit of weakness coming in here on the monthly chart wouldn't sort of even phase that sort of bullish move and bullish trend. Take a look at this on the weekly though. You can see that this level here on the weekly, which is around that sort of 138 sort of 60 sort of price point, has been tested. It's been support here many times before, and the market sort of tried to bounce off here, tried to get going, but just failed to really sort of keep getting above this sort of 142 price point to make some more stronger advancements. At the moment, with the weakness in the dollar, we've got sort of relative strength in the CAD at the moment as well, probably helped by the increase in oil prices. So if the market here on dollar CAD does break this level, we can see that we've got quite a healthy sort of trading window to the short side, even if we get a move. And the sort of move that I'm looking at here is possibly down to 136. So there's plenty of distance to the short side, and this is quite a nice sort of strong structure level. So again, if I come down to the daily time frame, we can see where we are at the moment. Indicators here for some time, whilst the market's been testing this higher level here and consolidating, we've had weakness coming through our momentum indicators. And again, you can see that again, if I see this on the daily time frame, you've got this level that's been tested a good four times here. A break underneath this level puts us into a, well, you know, fairly sort of decent sized trading window to the short side. And I marked in sort of 136 as a soft target here, because you can see that we've got a bit of support and resistance here in the past, but not a great deal. And below that, there's the stronger level down here, which is around 134. So that's a huge potential move here on the on dollar CAD. So keeping a very close eye on the weakness there and the market breaching that level. Now, the market may take a day or so to reach that price point, but again, there are other dollar-related markets that we could consider at the moment. So another one is the Aussie dollar. Again, this is a dollar weakness play, and the strength in the Aussie at the moment. We can see from a higher time frame perspective that the market's sort of continuing to grind higher, and we're just sort of seeing a breakout here and possibly a move up towards the next sort of structure point, which is up towards that 66 sort of 70 level. And you can see even here on the weekly chart that the market's found This is the next sort of level where the market sort of found key support in the past. It looks like the market wants to retest that area. So again, just coming to the daily time frame, we can see our 66 sort of 70 level up here. Again, if I just sort of zoom out, you can see how many times the market has tested this as support and resistance. And at the moment, the market is again putting in a sort of a fairly reasonable trend structure here, and we've just started to get the next leg of the trend forming here. So again, long opportunities on dollar, Aussie dollar, up to, and we're looking for moves up towards that sort of 66.70 sort of price point. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room coming into the start of this week. I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.